Let me ask you something. When was the last time you actually listened to your body? I mean, really listened. Not when something was screaming with pain or totally stopped working, but when it was whispering, when it was trying to get your attention quietly, asking for help before things got worse. Most men over 50 do not realize that one of the most honest messengers in the body is also one of the most misunderstood, your penis. Yes, you heard me right. That part of your body that we often think of only in terms of performance or embarrassment is actually a very smart, very sensitive indicator of your overall health, and too many men are ignoring what it is trying to say. So in this video, I want to help you finally understand the signals. I will show you how subtle changes in sensation, timing, size, firmness, or even desire are not random. They are messages. And if you start paying attention to those messages now, you can protect not just your sexual health, but your heart, your circulation, your hormones, your confidence, and even your mental well-being. I am Dr. Sophia Carter, and I have spent over a decade working with men just like you. This is not about fear. It is about awareness. And more importantly, it is about hope. Because once you know what to look for, you can take action that makes a real difference. Now let us start with something that is incredibly easy to brush off, a slower or softer morning erection. You might roll your eyes at that or think, well, of course it is not like it used to be. I am older now. And yes, sometimes it really is just a bad night's sleep or a bit of stress weighing on your system. But when this becomes a regular pattern, when you wake up day after day and that once reliable signal is noticeably absent or weakened, it is time to pause and listen. Because this is not just about bedroom function, it is about blood flow. And blood flow, my friend, is not a small issue. It is the lifeline of your health. The penis happens to be one of the most sensitive indicators of how well your blood vessels are functioning throughout your body. In fact, changes here often show up before you ever experience symptoms in bigger organs like your heart, your brain, or even your legs. That means your body is giving you a chance, an early warning, not a punishment. So when your morning erections are softer, slower to arrive, or vanish altogether, it could mean your blood vessels are becoming less elastic. Maybe there is plaque forming. Maybe your nitric oxide, that crucial chemical that relaxes and opens your arteries, is not being produced as efficiently. Maybe your testosterone is on the decline, or your oxygen delivery during the night is not as strong as it once was. And let us not forget the nerves. Erection is not just about blood. It is also about the communication between your brain and your body. If the nerves involved are tired, inflamed, or damaged by years of stress, inflammation, or even blood sugar issues, they will not fire as quickly. They might hesitate. They might underperform. And you feel that lag physically and emotionally. But here is where the story shifts toward hope. These changes are not your final chapter. They are simply signals, and signals, when acknowledged early, can be powerful catalysts for change. If you start now, even if the changes seem small, your body can bounce back. Truly, blood vessels can regain flexibility, hormone levels can rebalance, nerves can be reactivated. It takes time and care, not extremes. You do not need to overhaul your entire life in one night. What your body craves is consistency, a little bit of movement every day, a focus on hydration, better sleep, a diet that supports circulation, and most importantly, an attitude of curiosity instead of criticism. Now, we will dig deeper into those supportive habits in just a little bit. But before we do, I want to turn your attention to another quiet signal your penis might be sending: changes in sensation. This one catches many men by surprise. They come into my office saying things like, "It just does not feel the same," or "I used to be more sensitive," or even, "It takes more effort to feel pleasure now." And they often look ashamed, like something is broken. But let me be absolutely clear. This is not shameful. It is common, and it is a story your nervous system is trying to tell. As we age, the nerve endings in the pelvic area, especially those responsible for light touch and arousal, start to fire more slowly. They are not gone, they are just quieter. If you have been living with diabetes or even just mild insulin resistance or high blood sugar for several years, those tiny nerves may be damaged by inflammation. They lose their ability to deliver crisp, fast signals. And even if you do not have blood sugar issues, years of inactivity, smoking, poor sleep, and high stress levels can dull your sensitivity. The body starts conserving energy. It turns down the volume on sensations it considers non-essential. But intimacy, connection, and pleasure are essential. Not for survival, maybe, but for joy, for confidence, for feeling like yourself. Now here is the beautiful part. The nervous system is adaptable. If you begin to support it through gentle touch, regular movement, better blood flow, and relaxation, it starts to reawaken. The signals get stronger. The sensations return. It is not instant, but it is possible. And this brings us to another message that is often buried under silence: a sudden or growing lack of desire. This one is tricky because it is easy to brush off as just getting older or having too much on your mind. But a fading desire is not just psychological, it is physiological. Hormones, brain chemistry, emotions, even your gut health, they all contribute to how much or how little you crave intimacy. If you are noticing that the spark just is not there anymore, that your interest in sex or even touch has cooled off, do not ignore it. That is not just aging. That is your body asking for balance. Maybe your testosterone has dipped below its ideal range. Maybe your brain is dealing with too much cortisol, the stress hormone that kills desire. Maybe you are not sleeping deeply enough for your hormones to reset. And beyond all of that, maybe you are just disconnected from yourself, from your body, from what used to bring you pleasure. And I promise you, that is not something to feel ashamed of. It is something to get curious about. Because with a little attention, that fire can be rekindled, not through pressure, not through performance, but through presence, through gentleness, through rebuilding the bond between your body and your mind. So if your morning erections have changed, if your sensitivity has faded, if your desire has gone quiet, do not assume this is just the price of aging. These are messages, whispers, invitations, and they are asking you not to give up, but to lean in, listen, and respond with the care you always deserved. You see, we often think of desire as either being there or not, like a light switch, on or off, yes or no. But the reality is far more delicate and far more human. Desire is not binary. It is not some magic force that just disappears with age or returns with a single solution. It is a reflection of many systems working together in quiet harmony. Your brain chemistry, your hormone levels, your emotional state, your sleep patterns, your energy reserves, your stress load, your memories, your sense of self, and even your confidence in your own body. When any one of those systems gets overloaded or falls out of rhythm, desire can fade, not because you are broken, but because your body is prioritizing survival over connection. If you have lost interest in intimacy, if that internal spark feels dimmer than it used to, it does not mean something is wrong with you as a man. It means something in you is asking for attention. Maybe your testosterone is quietly declining. Maybe your nervous system is staying in a constant state of stress. Maybe your mind is simply worn out from pushing too hard and resting too little. But here is the truth you deserve to hear. Your penis is not broken. Your body is not betraying you. It is speaking, asking you to come home, to return to yourself, to slow down, to breathe, and to reconnect in a deeper, more intentional way. One of the greatest myths about getting older is the idea that pleasure simply disappears. That once you hit a certain age, you are supposed to stop feeling, stop wanting, stop caring. But I can tell you from real-life experience and honest conversations with men across the world that this is absolutely not true. I have seen men in their 60s, 70s, even late 80s who have rekindled a richer, more connected, more satisfying experience of pleasure than they ever had in their youth. But here is what they had to do. They had to stop ignoring the whispers. They had to stop pushing their discomfort aside. They had to stop treating their penis like a malfunctioning part and start seeing it as a vital messenger. Now let us talk about one more signal that often gets pushed aside: urinary changes. It starts small. Maybe you are waking up once or twice in the middle of the night to urinate. Maybe your stream feels weaker, or you find yourself dribbling afterward. Maybe you are starting to push more than usual, or you feel like your bladder is not quite empty, even when it should be. It is easy to brush these things off, to think it is just part of aging. But here is the reality: these are not just bladder issues. They are often early signs of something deeper, and more often than not, it starts with the prostate. And here's where your penis plays a role in the message again, because the urethra, the very tube that carries urine from your bladder to the outside world, runs directly through the center of your prostate. So when the prostate starts to swell or becomes inflamed or irritated, it presses on that tube. The flow slows down, the pressure builds, and that can lead to feelings of urgency, discomfort, and sometimes even anxiety about when or how you will need to go next. And yes, it impacts your erections too, because a swollen or unhealthy prostate affects more than just urination. It influences circulation, pelvic floor tension, nerve signaling, and emotional confidence, all of which are key ingredients for strong, healthy erections. That is why these early urinary signs are not just minor annoyances to shrug off. They are signals from your body that something needs support. And the sooner you respond, whether that is through healthier eating, regular movement, targeted supplements, or simply scheduling a prostate screening with your doctor, the better your chance of staying vibrant, confident, and comfortable for years to come. Now, I want to leave you with something real, something simple and practical you can start doing today. Your penis is not asking for perfection. It is asking for presence. It is asking for daily care, for attention, for you to stop tuning it out and start tuning in, even for just a few minutes a day. That starts with hydration. Drink water slowly throughout the day, not all at once before bed. Give your kidneys time to process it properly. Support your circulation with foods that feed your blood vessels, things like berries, leafy greens, extra virgin olive oil, pomegranate juice, and unsalted nuts. Move your body, walk after dinner, stretch in the morning, breathe deeply throughout the day, and perhaps most importantly, talk to someone. If you feel something is changing, if you are worried or even just unsure, speak up. That could be your partner, your doctor, a men's group, a therapist, someone who can remind you that you are not supposed to figure it all out on your own. Because you are not past your prime, you are in a new season, a deeper one that requires presence instead of pressure, compassion instead of criticism, and trust, not just in the process, but in your own ability to evolve. So if your body is whispering, do not wait for it to scream. If you feel something is off, listen. That little moment of awareness could be the very start of something new, of healing, of peace, of strength, of deeper connection, of better sleep, less stress, and a renewed confidence in who you are. Not who you used to be, but who you are right now. Thank you for sharing this space with me. If this message spoke to something inside you, I invite you to subscribe. Here on this channel, we speak the truth, without shame, without judgment, and with deep hope.